This broke guy named Yamaha just nailed 8 questions and walked away with 10 million rupees. He could stop now and keep the life-changing prize, or risk it all on one last question to double the money to 20 million. But if he gets it wrong, he walks away with nothing. And the final question won't be easy. What would you do? Take the 10 million and run, or risk it all for the 20? The crowd went absolutely wild. The crowd went absolutely wild. No one had ever made it this far on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Just as the host was about to ask the final question, the show ended. The final question had to wait until the next night. Yamaha had barely left the studio when he was arrested. Turns out he was an illiterate street kid who had never gone to school. So how on earth did he get 8 questions right? Even professors and scholars never made it past 16,000 rupees. Broke guys like Yamaha would usually grab a few thousand and disappear. No one would gamble 10 million on a 9th question. The only explanation was that Yamaha had cheated. The police went full drama, even used electric shocks. He was interrogated all night long. In the morning, a senior officer stepped in. "All right, drama boy, how did you cheat?" Someone in the audience coughing in code. "Got a chip implanted." Drama replied, frustrated, "I didn't cheat. I genuinely knew the answers to all those questions." The officer was stunned by how firmly he stuck to his story. Could this kid really be telling the truth? The officer brought Yamaha into his office for an explanation. "How did you know the answers to such a wide range of questions?" He turned on the TV and replayed the show from the beginning. The first question appeared, and the host explained the rules. Yamaha had 3 lifelines. 1. Ask the audience. 2. Eliminate 2 choices. 3. Phone a friend. The first question was worth 1,000 rupees. In the 1973 hit film Rania, who played the lead role, Yamaha knew the answer instantly. He grew up in the Dharavi slum, at the very bottom of Indian society, a filthy place that looked more like a dumping ground. Yamaha had an older brother named Salim. Neither of them cared about school, they were all about mischief. But both had sharp business minds. The slum had a few makeshift toilets. The brothers came up with a money-making idea. Yamaha stood guard while Salim fetched customers. Anyone desperate to use the toilet had to pay first. Don't underestimate it, this little business kept them fed. One day, Yamaha had a stomachache, and Salim missed a customer. Angry, Salim locked Yamaha inside the toilet. At that moment, a helicopter landed in the slum. People outside were screaming and running. On board the chopper was film legend Amitabh Bachchan, the star of Rania. Yamaha had once watched that film at an outdoor screening in the slum. He was obsessed with Bachchan and always carried his photo. He peeked through the vent and saw everyone rush outside. He longed to see his idol with his own eyes, but the door was locked. What could he do? The only escape route was to jump into the pit of waste below. And so he did. Yamaha emerged covered in filth. No one dared go near him. The crowd parted and cleared a path. He marched straight through to reach his hero Amitabh Bachchan. That's how he answered the question so confidently. He won his first 1,000 rupees. Second question, what phrase is written beneath India's national emblem? The audience laughed. It was ridiculously easy. A total giveaway. But Yamaha looked blank. He had no clue. So, he used his Ask the Audience lifeline. The officer watching exploded with disbelief. That's the most famous line in all of India. Every literate child knows it. You've answered 8 questions but don't know this. Confess now. Is your scam falling apart? Yamaha didn't answer. Instead, he fired a question back. How much is a plate of Bhel at Juhu Beach? 10 rupees, the officer replied. After Diwali, it's 15. Who stole Inspector Kolaramis's bike? That was last Thursday, outside Santa Cruz Station. You know that. Everyone in Juhu knows that. Even 5-year-olds do. Each social class has its own knowledge base. The poor don't get access to elite education, and the elite know nothing of the poor's reality. Yamaha's reasoning was unshakable. The officer had no choice but to keep watching the show. At this point, Yamaha had earned 4,000 rupees. Then came question 3. This one touched on religion. What object does the Hindu god Rama hold in his right hand? Yamaha's face darkened with pain, because he knew the answer all too well. That day, his mother took them out, and they got caught in a riot. His family were Muslims in India. That meant constant conflict with Hindus. During the chaos, Yamaha's mother was killed by Hindu rioters. The brothers fled in terror through the stampede. They saw Boy dressed as Rama, holding a bow in his right hand. So the answer was the bow. Final answer, final answer. Computer, lock and congratulations, you've won 16,000 rupees. If he had a choice, Yamaha would rather not have known that answer. Maybe then he wouldn't have lost his mother. But he did answer correctly. Maybe his mother was watching over him. His winnings now totaled 16,000 rupees. During the commercial break, the host slipped over to Yamaha. He whispered, 16,000 rupees isn't a small amount. You should take it and go home, because you won't make it through the next round. Clearly, he wasn't being supportive, just trying to scare Yamaha. But Yamaha wasn't afraid. When the break ended, the host asked if he would continue. Yamaha quickly and firmly said, continue. The fourth question was much harder. Who wrote the poem Embrace the Light? Yamaha was thrown back into a memory from the riot. The two brothers met a girl who also lost her family. The three orphans started living together in a garbage dump. They survived by collecting and selling trash. One day, a man approached them. He took them to a shelter on the city outskirts. It was full of other orphans like them. At first, he seemed kind, offering food and a roof. But it was just a mask. The man was a wolf in sheep's clothing. He trained each child based on their personality. Some were made into gangsters, others, beggars. Slum, with his guts and street smarts, was chosen to be the leader of the children. With power came arrogance. He got jealous when he noticed Latika liked Yamaha. One night, Latika got revenge by putting chili powder in Slum's pants. Slum screamed in agony and vowed to get back at her. The cruel man taught all the children to sing a song called Embrace the Light. He promised candy to those who sang it well. But the good singers were sent to beg on the streets. Because blind children singing that song would earn more pity and more money, people were more generous toward the blind. Slum had seen with his own eyes kids were drugged and poisoned to go blind. One day, the man told Slum to bring Yamaha over. Clearly, it was Yamaha's turn to be blinded. It was also a test to see if Slum would obey blindly. Despite all his toughness, Slum wasn't a monster. No brother could blind his own sibling. Slum led Yamaha over but then threw the poison in the man's face. While he was stunned, Slum grabbed Yamaha and ran. Latika followed them and escaped. They raced through a small forest toward the train station. The brothers jumped onto a moving train. Slum reached back to pull Latika up. But just as the train sped up, he let go of her hand. Latika stood helpless on the platform, terrified, as the men chased her down. Yamaha tried to jump off the train to help her, but Slum stopped him. Slum claimed Latika let go on purpose. If Yamaha returned, he'd be blinded. Don't worry, the man won't hurt her. From then on, Latika was separated from the brothers. Yamaha believed Slum did it to get back at her for the chili prank. But when he looked around the train car, it was full of men. He realized Slum was actually protecting Latika. If she had boarded that train, things could have been worse. That experience helped Yamaha remember the poet's name. Surdus wrote Embrace the Light. That was the answer to question 4. Are you sure? Yes. Hearing the story, the officer became curious. So the man really didn't hurt the girl? Yamaha replied, no, she wasn't blinded. But she became useful to him in a different way. After escaping, the brothers started living on trains. They stayed on trains for years, selling snacks to passengers. They barely spent a penny they earned. When hungry, they climbed on rooftops and stole food through windows. But one day, they got caught and fell off the train. They landed near the Taj Mahal, a famous tourist destination. One of the most beautiful buildings in the world. It was filled with tourists, so they pretended to be tour guides. They knew nothing about the Taj Mahal's history, but the foreign tourists knew even less. With smooth talking, they made a good amount of money. Their lives were finally looking up. Yamaha thought, if only Latika were here. They kept scamming tourists there for a while, until they got caught by security and were chased away. They couldn't work in legit tourist areas anymore, so they started taking tourists into the slums. But when they returned, the tourists' cars had been ransacked. Even the tires were gone. The police thought Yamaha was behind it and beat him. Yamaha protested, it wasn't me. You want to see the real India? This is it. After that, he decided to return to Mumbai to find Latika. Slum couldn't stop him, so he went along. There, Yamaha met an old friend now blind and begging. The same boy from the shelter, still controlled by the evil man. Yamaha gave him a $100 bill. The boy couldn't believe it. He recognized the giver's voice was just a kid's. He asked, whose face is on a $100 bill? Some bald guy with long hair on the sides looks like a woman. Benjamin Franklin. That was question 5 on the show. Who's on the $100 bill? Yamaha answered with no hesitation. I choose C. Benjamin Franklin. And he got it right. He now had 1 million rupees in prize money. Still, he chose to keep going. Question 6. Who invented the revolver? The story flashed back again. His old friend told him Latika was alive. The gangster was still hunting for the brothers. If Yamaha were scared, he wouldn't have returned to Mumbai. Following a lead, Yamaha found Latika. She was being held captive, forced to work as a dancer in the red light district. Soon, she'd be sold like merchandise. Yamaha tried to rescue her but was blocked by the gangsters' men. Well, the Yamaha brothers, I've been looking for you for ages. And now you just walk right into my trap. Before the gangster could gloat more, Salim pulled out a revolver. The gangster froze and reached for his wallet. But Salim knew guys like him could beg today and seek revenge tomorrow. He couldn't take that risk. Yamaha was stunned. Latika stayed calm. She grabbed the money and told Yamaha to hurry and leave. The three of them fled to a small lodge. Salim feared retaliation. He took a drink to calm his nerves and sought help from a mafia boss. This boss was an enemy of the gangster. When he heard Salim had taken him down, he welcomed him into the gang. Back at the lodge, drunk Salim tried to force himself on Latika. Yamaha fought back to protect her. Salim pointed the revolver at him. One more step, and I'll shoot you with this thing. Yamaha refused to back down. Latika, scared Salim might actually shoot, gave in. Furious, Yamaha walked away. He never saw them again. So, question 6, who invented the revolver? Samuel Colt. Yamaha answered correctly. He won a whopping 2.5 million rupees. The police officer was suspicious. That story includes a murder. If we investigate, you'll be an accomplice. You're willing to admit to that yet still deny cheating. Why confess to something I didn't do? I didn't cheat. By now, the officer started to believe him. After all, admitting to murder was no small thing. The officer asked, "You're just a T-boy. Why did you even sign up for this show? You couldn't have known that the questions would all relate to your life, right?" It all started years after that, Yamaha said. He had grown up and got a job at a telecom company. But just as a T-boy serving drinks, even after leaving in anger, he never forgot Latika. One day, he covered a shift for a coworker. Everyone had mobile phones now. Yamaha used the chance to look up Latika's number. He searched the database for her name, but there were too many people with the same name. So, he tried Salim's name instead, his brother. This time, there were only 15 matches. He decided to take a chance and called them one by one. On the third number, he heard a familiar voice. "Dear customer, this is a call from Exeter Telecom. Thank you for being a loyal user. We're offering a free upgrade." Yamaha, is that you? Even after all these years, they recognized each other's voices. They met again. Salim had regretted what he did to Latika. He'd been haunted by it ever since. He missed his brother deeply. Yamaha, on the other hand, held on to resentment. When Salim walked up, Yamaha punched him. Salim didn't fight back. He knew Yamaha needed to let it out. Once he calmed down, they talked. Salim was still in the gang, but his rank was now much higher. Thanks to him, Yamaha finally found out where Latika was. But everything had changed. He found her in a luxurious villa. Latika had become the mafia boss's pet. She was locked up, her face bruised. Her eyes were dark with fatigue. It was clear she'd been abused. Yamaha asked her to run away with him, but she refused. The mafia boss was too powerful. She feared being caught. With no other choice, Yamaha told her he'd wait at the train station every day at 5 p.m. Whenever she was ready to escape, she could find him there. He meant it. From then on, he waited at the station every day at 5. One day, Latika made up her mind. She decided to leave with Yamaha and start a new life. Yamaha was overjoyed, but just as they were about to leave, Salim received orders to capture Latika and bring her back. She wasn't taken back to the villa but somewhere else. Yamaha searched everywhere but couldn't find her. That's why he joined the show. Not for the money but so Latika could see him. After reliving all those painful memories, it was time for question 7. In which UK city is Cambridge Shopping Centre located? Though just a low-level worker at a telecom company, Yamaha often took over phone shifts for co-workers. He talked to many foreign customers and became familiar with their culture. It was a trick question. Most people would assume Cambridge referred to the city, but the correct answer was D. He nailed it. He now had 5 million rupees in total. Even Yamaha was surprised at how smoothly things were going. Next question. Who has the highest first-class cricket score in history? Yamaha was stumped. He knew nothing about cricket. During a break, he and the host both went to the restroom. In there, the host spoke to him. "Brilliant, ever since this show aired, I've been the only one to answer 7 questions right. If you get this one right, you'll break my record. I genuinely hope you do. You will succeed." Then the host walked off. Yamaha was confused. He suddenly noticed the host writing a letter on the mirror. Was he trying to help Yamaha cheat? Back on set, Yamaha used the 50-50 lifeline. Two options remained, B and D. Was the host really helping him? Answer is B. Yamaha had seen too much to trust easily. It was rare to meet someone with pure intentions. He knew a stranger wouldn't risk it all just to help him win. So he figured the host was trying to deceive him. It's definitely not B. So you knew the answer? Not really. If the host hadn't tried to trick him, Yamaha might have chosen B. Turns out, Yamaha guessed right. The host really had tried to set him up. Yamaha had set a record. He had earned a total of 10 million rupees. But the game wasn't over yet. He had two choices. Walk away with 10 million or go for the ninth question. If correct, he'd double his winnings to 20 million rupees. If wrong, he'd lose everything. Yamaha chose to continue. It was a crazy decision, but the crowd wasn't surprised. They had come to expect the unexpected from him. The host read the question. It was the final question, but time ran out. The question would be asked during the next night's live show. Viewers were left on the edge of their seats. Right after the show, the host called the police to report Yamaha for cheating. They found out Yamaha was illiterate, so they were convinced he must have cheated. He was tortured for a confession. Luckily, after hearing his full story, the officers found it surprisingly reasonable, and there was no solid proof of cheating. Eventually, an officer personally escorted Yamaha back to the studio for the final round. That night, the show's ratings skyrocketed. Almost every Indian household tuned in, including Slum and Latika. They realized Yamaha wasn't chasing money. He just wanted Latika to see him. Latika was touched. She wanted to run to him right away, but she was trapped and couldn't escape. Just then, Slum smiled. That kid never gives up. Never crazy little guy. A faint smile crossed Slum's lips. He had made up his mind to give up the gangster life. He chose family. He handed Latika the car keys so she could flee. Latika hesitated. If she ran, the boss would kill Slum. But Slum insisted. He wanted her to find Yamaha. He even gave her his phone. Forgive me for everything I've done. Be happy. The show was about to start. Latika drove to the studio. But she got stuck in traffic and couldn't make it in time. She got out of the car and found a TV by the roadside. She accidentally left Slum's phone behind. Question 9. In the Three Musketeers, two musketeers are named Athos and Porthos. What is the name of the third musketeer? Wait a minute, this question was different from what the host asked the day before. This was the final question. Apparently, the producers spent the whole day researching Yamaha's life. They tailored a new question just for him. Upon hearing it, Yamaha smiled. As kids, Yamaha and Slum didn't like school. They were always causing trouble. Their teacher used to call them the Two Musketeers. That nickname came from Alexandre Dumas' book The Three Musketeers. So the brothers had known about the book since they were little. But Yamaha only remembered Athos and Porthos. He had forgotten the name of the third one. So he used his final lifeline, phone a friend. Latika snapped out of her thoughts while watching the show. Just before the call ended, she picked up. I'm guessing you're not his brother. Hearing her voice, Yamaha beamed. He didn't even care about the question anymore. He just asked if she was safe. Once she said yes, he relaxed. The host was a buzzkill, not letting them talk. He repeated the question and asked Latika to give an answer. I don't know. Yamaha, good luck. Now that he knew Latika was okay, Yamaha felt totally at peace. He casually chose an answer. Why? I don't know, just a guess. All right, locking in A. I'm sorry to say, that is the correct answer. At that moment, the whole nation cheered for the millionaire from the slums. It felt like the underclass had finally claimed a grand victory. Meanwhile, the mafia boss was also watching. He recognized Latika's voice on the phone and realized everything. He ordered Slum to be killed for betrayal, but Slum was already waiting, sitting in a bathtub full of money. As soon as the boss entered, Slum opened fire to protect his brother. He was shot and killed in the shootout. After the show, Yamaha went to the train station and saw Latika. After all their suffering, the lovers were finally together. At the beginning of the film, there was a question. How did Yamaha get this far? A cheated, D luck, C genius, D destiny. Now that you've seen the film, you probably know the answer. This movie swept the Oscars in 2009 with absolute dominance. The director brilliantly used a quiz show to portray real life at the bottom of Indian society. If you haven't seen the original, it'll open your eyes. That's all for today's story. Thanks for watching. What did you think of this film? If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Thanks.